a lot of things happen every day in technology that you must adapt, you must embrace, you must leverage to grow, you must leverage to remain relevant. And the worst of it all, consumer behavior changes per second. Like everything, as technology is evolving, so is consumer buying behavior is also evolving. Innovation is very key. If you must be intentional about your brand this year, you must innovate. Hello, it's my pleasure to be here again on Business Edge with Favour. And let me say Happy New Year to you. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I said Happy New Year. I greeted everyone Happy New Year. If you're just seeing this, Happy New Year. Welcome to the year of being intentional about our business, all right? Okay, my name is Favour Samuel, and on this channel, we talk everything digital marketing, brand management, and tech. Okay, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Ensure your business grows exponentially in 2023 by adhering to some of the strategies we will be sharing with you. Implement them from A to Z, and I tell you, your business will definitely grow exponentially. Right now, one of the contents we have decided to introduce in 2023 is what I call Built to Last. Okay, so it's going to have like a playlist where I'm going to be sharing or tagging contents that are geared towards this Built to Last. So what is this Built to Last about? We're going to be sharing content around brands that did well and all of a sudden are struggling. So what lessons can we learn from them? What innovative lessons, what innovation, what business lessons can we actually learn from this brand? So if you go to the playlist and you click Built to Last, it's going to feature different brands, those that are struggling, those that are defunct, those that are currently doing extremely well, and what business lessons you can learn from such brands. And that's what Built to Last is all about. I'd like for you to stick around and join me as we dive deep into this Built to Last segment of this program. Okay, so our brand in focus today is a brand that I loved growing up. One of my encounters with the brand was when I watched this guy's Apprentice, Donald Trump's Apprentice. In the early 1990s, Donald Trump did things around Apprentice where he would bring in people into the room and test them on their skills, how they can run businesses and all of that. And if you're not good, you're fired. So one of their tasks was to go to Toys R Us to build the toys and see how they can sell Toys R Us to companies and customers, to test their selling capabilities and all of that. I remember that was my first time. That was the first time I saw Toys R Us. And today we'll be looking at Toys R Us. Toys R Us was a very big brand back in the days, in over 70 countries and more. Toys R Us had their presence in more countries than you can imagine. But today, Toys R Us is struggling. What happened? It was founded in April 1948. Like I said, I'll be looking at my tab to pick up some of those things that I jotted down. It was founded in April 1948 by Charles Lazarus, an American entrepreneur. Toys R Us became the most known and successful international toy retailer. At its peak, Toys R Us was considered a category killer. But in 2018, 70 years later, the giant company filed for bankruptcy and closed its stores worldwide. Pathetic. What happened? I mean, we've had stories, we've had write-ups, articles on why Toys R Us failed. Today we'll be looking at what really happened, why did they fail, and how you as a business owner can learn one or two lessons, because that's the whole essence of our Built to Last segment of Business Edge with Favour. So what really happened? Why did they fail? Why are they struggling? Okay, number one was failure to adapt and innovate. In business, if you fail to innovate, you will die. It's even worse now that technology has taken over. So if you feel, because I've spoken to some businesses or businesses owner or managers, they will tell me, well, the kind of business I do, I don't think I need online presence. I have my customers, they call me and we answer them. And I ask myself, is that what you're going to remain for the rest of your life? Just managing the customers that you know. You don't want to expose yourself to other customers, other potential customers that should see you and call you up and do business with you. I mean, I have people like that who feel social media is not for us. I don't need social media. It's not for the kind of business we're into. There is no business that cannot build community. Social media is a community building medium. You build community, people who come to trust you, who come to learn things about your brand, people you give value to, you teach one or two things through what you do, you become a thought leader in your industry. So you can't tell me that you're not innovating or you're not following the trend. And that was why in my previous video where I talked about digital trends in 2023, I will leave the link in the description box so you can also watch it. Innovation is very key. If you must be intentional about your brand this year, you must innovate. So Toys R Us refused to innovate. Amidst the rising tides of e-commerce became the in thing at that point, and the business world going global and games converting to online, Toys R Us failed to adjust and adapt. You must innovate, understand what your customers are doing, understand your customer buying behavior at any point in time. So because they failed to innovate, they failed to understand the handwriting on the wall, they failed to adapt, and they had issue. It was pathetic. Pathetic. So unlike their competitors, which were embracing technology and innovation to adapt to the changing preferences and buying habits of the new generations, the new generation buying habits changed. Understanding your consumer behavior is very key if you must succeed in business. How are they shopping now? What are they going after? What are they looking for? What are their key needs? What are their key pain points? If you understand this, you'll be able to offer the solution that they need for their businesses. Number two, they were competing on price alone. At some point, they began to compete on price alone. When Toys R Us lost the competition in technology and innovation, it began competing on price alone. Shooting for the lowest price is never the best solution in the long run because there will always be a cheaper alternative. They were competing on price. Price shouldn't be your best strategy as a business owner to say, oh, I'm coming with, my price will be cheap. I'm coming with pricing strategy. Pricing strategy may be good in some aspects, but in an aspect where you know that you've been swallowed up by bigger competitors because you refuse to innovate, you feel that people will come looking for me because my pricing is good. No. Your customers are now buying convenience. They're now paying for convenience. They're not paying for comfort. They can watch these things from the comfort of their home. They don't need to bother, checking the aisle, looking for toys that they will buy for their kids. No longer that. They're not looking for those anymore. Those experience is obsolete. They are looking for new experience. And if you refuse and if you fail to adapt to provide such experience, then you're in for it. Then the third one was the nefarious Amazon deal. Then in 2000, Toys R Us entered a 10-year partnership with Amazon. I hope you're getting something. Not you're just watching Beauty Last for watching sake. You need to learn something and use that to also run your business as a business owner in 2023 and beyond. So Toys R Us entered a 10-year partnership with Amazon to be Amazon's exclusive seller of toys. Now, the partnership stipulated that Toys R Us pays Amazon $50 million a year plus percentage of sales, right? The joint toy store was successful, which prompted Amazon to begin expanding its toy category. You know, the giant e-commerce company also included Toys R Us competitors. So when it became successful, the deal became successful, they were now selling toys through Amazon. So I come to toysrus.com, I click on toysrus.com. Instead of buying from toysrus.com, toysrus.com leads me to Amazon e-commerce. So Amazon now sells to me and I'm now buying from Amazon. Amazon is now fulfilling the orders that customers make, right? And Amazon now saw that this business was a good deal. Amazon now decided to bring in other competitors. But the deal was that no competitor should be sold on Amazon. But Amazon saw that, oh, it was really, really, really booming. Amazon decided to bring in other competitors. Yes, Amazon was sued by Toys R Us. They sued them. The distractions were too many that they couldn't cope. They failed at the end of the day. Even though they won, they won the battle, but then they couldn't concentrate. They couldn't innovate. Time had passed for them to innovate and do, and then of course for them to catch up with other big competitors that were already ahead of them in terms of technology adoption to run their business and become relevant, and of course meet the customer's need, and of course give them the experience that they want. So when Toys R Us finally had an e-commerce site, it was too late to make any difference, and it was reading with technical errors which frustrated the customers. Eventually, when they decided to, oh, let's go e-commerce, it was quite late. I mean, that's why you should have leaders that are not myopic in nature, leaders that are proactive, that are any organization with R&D, functional and effective R&D department seldom fail, because when you do your research very well and the data gathered from the research is being used to make business decision that will grow the brand, I am telling you, it's difficult for such organization to fail. So that nefarious activity, nefarious Amazon deal was one of the factors that actually made them to crumble. The fourth one, failure to embrace the community in the age of e-commerce and social media. I've said it before, you need to create community. Don't come here and tell me my business does not need social media. How do you create community? How do you embrace community? How do you have people you talk to, people you remind about your brand, people you send your email to, you send emails to, you talk to them about something that your brand is doing, about new innovation that your brand came up with. You must create community, and one way to do that is to have a social media. Your social media followers are your community, and you must continue to build this brand, continue to create awareness, continue to ensure that this community love you and they know so much about your brand, and they're able to also become your advocates and talk about your brand and spread the good news about your brand to other people. So they failed to embrace community in the age of e-commerce and of course social media. And the fifth one and the last one we're going to talk about, the fifth one and the last one we're going to talk about on this is management myopia. When your management is myopic, they think they're still big. We're still big. We're comfortable, complacency. We're good where we are. They're not seeing the future. They're not seeing ahead of time. It can kill or crumble a big brand, a giant, as a matter of fact. So Toys R Us management was suffering from management myopia. They were still believing Toys R Us was the center of toy industry and nothing bad could happen to the company. The truth is, if you don't innovate, you will die. Technology is not even helping matters. A lot of things happen every day in technology that you must adapt. You must adapt. You must embrace. You must leverage to grow. You must leverage to remain relevant. And the worst of it all, consumer behavior changes per second. Like everything, as technology is evolving, so is consumer buying behavior is also evolving. Amazon changed customers' expectations about convenience, particularly millennial parents who were a prime segment of Toys R Us. These parents became prime members and got used to the convenience of ordering online. So it all boils down to innovation and disruption. It all boils down to studying your consumers, studying technology, studying the trend, and winning in business. Recently, we heard that they are making a comeback, but we don't know how that has been. So for 4 years after Toys R Us store closed in bankruptcy, the brand is finally making a comeback with shops inside 400 Macy's department stores. So let's see how it goes. But you know what they have lost. You know how much they have lost over the years when they filed for bankruptcy and all the outlets were closed down. And if you don't want that to happen to you, please take away complacency, embrace technology, study your consumer, their behavior, and I'm sure that if you put all of the things together, you're going to win in 2023. Let's be intentional about our business and ensure that we win at all times. So this is where we ended today on Built to Last, studying Toys R Us, why they failed, giants in toy industry in the world, why they failed. I'll see you in the next one, but please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Remember, we have a lot coming for you in 2023. I remain Favour Samuel, and I'll see you in the next one. Please click on the notification box so next time when I post a video, you will be notified and you'll be one of the first people to watch the video. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.